Welcome to the Final Score.tv. With me today is head coach of the Bellarmine Prep Lions, Mr. Bobby Moore. 3A Bellarmine Prep Lions out of the PSL Narrows. You guys are holding on to that number one seeding right now in the league standings. 16-0 in league. Is that right, Coach?
That's correct. Yep. We won 19 games in a row now.
19-2 overall. My gosh. I know you guys played last night. Was it senior night last night versus
It
Silas?
was. Yep. Senior night, last regular season game.
There you go. So your regular season is wrapped up at 19-2. Your Lions really seem to be playing really well as we're coming down the stretch here. As you head into the playoffs, what has this group done especially well that gives you the confidence right now?
I think for us, it always comes down to the defensive end. I think when you look, particularly at our league standings, right, you look at points against, and we're substantially lower than everybody else. And that's something that we take pride in. And I think we're still not nearly where we need to be on that side of the ball, but I think that's the separator. Obviously, we can shoot the ball really well from deep, and that's always going to be, our bread and butter, but sometimes you don't shoot well. And so how do you stay in the games? And so for us, it's the defensive end and taking pride in that. I think that's what's led us to our success to this point.
That's right. Yeah, that night I watched you guys play Annie Wright. You guys, if people haven't seen the Bellarmine Prep Lions play, you guys are really long and you keep your hands up and are really disruptive in those passing lanes. Now, that crowd, when I went to Annie Wright, it was sold out. It was a full house. And, how much does energy and the involvement of your community and the fans impact your team, especially as you're heading into playoffs? What does that support mean?
Energy is contagious. So when there's a crowd and people are into it, it's a lot easier as a player to be excited about it, right? When there's nobody in the stands and you're having success, it's not as fun. So I think it's easy when we're having success. Like last night, gym was packed again, and it's fun. You can celebrate, you can compete, and you got to yell plays out. You gotta scream the whole time. I think it's a lot of fun for the players, and it helps. You go pin a ball off the backboard, or you compete for a loose ball, and everybody goes crazy, right? That's contagious. It feels good. So that stuff gets you excited, and yeah, it's great for the kids.
Well, and what a great way to finish off the season at home with or I should say, the regular season at home. When you think about your playoffs and success, what's the mindset or the focus that'll be most important for your players and for the coaching staff as you head into these upcoming rounds of playoffs?
Yeah, just being confident. I mean, confident in the work that we've done and confident in our identity. I think that's huge. Confident in what got us here, which is defense and making shots. And so, if we're a confident group, I feel like we're a pretty tough group to beat. And if we take pride on specifically that defensive side of the ball, I think we can surprise some people. And so for our guys, having that confidence, it's what we've struggled with in the past, is just being confident. And so I keep seeing that confidence continue to grow and to build. And so it's been cool to see. So for us, we feel really confident going into this next season, and we gotta do what we say we're gonna do.
Well, playing confident basketball is it's such a great place to work from because yeah, basketball is a game of ebbs and flows and momentum changes and those kind of things. But when you have confidence in who you are and how you play, those highs and lows really get evened out. And it's what I love about the high school level of play is that there is so many momentum swings and so much going back and forth in just a given game, let alone a whole season long. Tell me about some of your players. Which are the players on your squad that do the little things that make a difference for your team in practice or on the floor during the games or even from the bench?
I mean, that's one of the things we highlighted this week, particularly, is the guys in practice who don't see the floor in the game. Just they're as important to what we're doing as the guys who are getting the minutes and making the shots. Because if we can't have valuable practice time, then we're not going to be ready for the game. So that's the first part. Secondly, I mean, we've got guys like our junior Ronnie Wiggins, who's, in my opinion, he's the best defensive player in the state. I mean, he's physical. He almost never gets beat. I mean, he's not afraid of guarding anybody, and that's pretty rare. I feel like in this day and age to really take your pride on that side of the ball and really be eager and excited to shut down the other team's best players. Guys like that, and we've got our sophomore Luke Heisel is just dominant on the glass. I mean, just goes up for rebounds like he's the only one who's going to grab it, and those are valuable skills that you can try and teach, but sometimes that just the kids have to want to do it, and they have to want to get on the floor for a loose ball, and they have to want it internally. And so we've got a couple guys that are really willing to do those things, and and take pride in that. So I'd say those two guys. Obviously, I think we're a pretty well-rounded team overall. We've got a lot of guys that contribute in a lot of different ways, and we're some of our parts, right? We've got like five guys that are pretty darn close to averaging over 10 points a game. So we're pretty balanced in the scoring side of things, which I think is really cool. If someone doesn't have it one night, it's not like we just disappear, right? And we don't have to struggle because one guy's having a bad shooting night. So I think that's pretty special and a lot of fun.
Well, that's why I love the phrase "let the ball be the star." So when you can spread it out and guys can get the ball, and whoever's hot is the guy who's going to get it. And here at the FinalScore.tv, we are stressing people to get back to the gyms, to come back and support your team in your town, wherever you are in the state. There's great basketball being played, and what you talked about, the defensive side of it with Wiggins and getting the rebounds and getting on the floor. Those are things that don't necessarily show up in the stat book. But when you're in the gym and you can see that hustle, when you can see that intensity, it really adds to an extra level for the game. And so for me, I love to hear that you've created that culture there at Bellarmine as you guys continue to be a perennial leader in your league. Coach Bobby Moore, I want to thank you. I know you're busy. You got stuff to prepare for as the playoffs come. And the FinalScore.tv just wants to thank you for doing your job you're doing and spending some time with us here today.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on, and yeah, I reiterate what you say. Get people in the gyms. I think it's just way better for the high school game, and better for energy. So we love people coming out to the games, and keep it coming, fans.